I'm recording this on a Sunday morning. It's May 24th, and you've probably seen the news on Friday that came out. The CBC broke that story that there's a report asking the city to award another $18 million for the Central Library at Isoke, with news as well that we don't know when this is going to open. So we were supposed to have this library for 175 or so million dollars split with the federal government, not evenly, but the facility is also going to be home to the new Library and Archives Canada. That's why we're splitting this with the feds. It was supposed to be on the order of 175 million. And by the time this is over, if it ever is over, I wouldn't be surprised if we popped 400. It was supposed to open in 2024. It's not going to be 2026. Who knows when it's going to be? We just don't know. There's no date yet. And I want to know. So, a couple of months ago, I told you I was going to try and get to the bottom of this story. And I have been rereading the history of how we got to this, where I'm now currently getting ready to start 2016. A lot of activity happened in 2015, a lot of debates, a lot of studying. And I've reread all those documents, and I've studied and I've read the books and the history and everything on this project. I'm pretty convinced that the problem did not occur in the planning. This was very carefully done. There were a lot of studies, a lot of talking, a lot of debating. The idea of the project was a good one. The budget we were presented, I'm not an expert, but I have to believe that it was the right one too. What happened to turn this into a nightmare was not in the planning. I think it was in what happened afterwards. I think what we did is trust a contractor who promised us a miracle and now is not delivering. Now, I know a public library in a building like this, it's not like your bathroom renovations, like it's a completely different beast. But if you've ever dealt with a contractor for any property that you own and you've encounter this business where they promise you something. Oh, yeah, no problem. It's all going to happen. No problem. On budget, on time. That's what I do. Right. And then one thing after another, there's a problem with sourcing one thing and this material that we can't get it anymore. And there's a problem with the supply chain. And then somebody gets sick and then there's an emergency somewhere else. And then a drip, it's this drip of, well, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Not quite what you asked for. We need to do a change order. We need to do this and that and the other thing. And then you wind up, long delayed and much more than what you thought you'd spend for a bathroom renovation that you're kind of happy with, but not quite what you could have gotten and not what you were promised. So you understand how this can happen. I think this is what's happening here, and nobody wants to admit it. Now, I am asking the mayor, I'm asking councilors, I am asking people who are on the Ottawa Public Library Board, I am asking people who are running for mayor. It's an election year. What are we going to do to prevent this from turning into another one of those expensive scandals that requires a public inquiry at the end? Or is it already too late? I want to ask them all on camera. We'll see if they agree to be interviewed on that. And I will share that with you. And then you can make up your mind about whether or not you believe them. Because at the end of the day, you're the one paying for this and you're the one not getting it. It's your bathroom renovation that we're talking about in a way, right? It's much bigger than that, but I think you understand what I'm saying. And I want to hear what these people have to say. And it's not okay. I don't want this to turn into another LRT. And I'm afraid that we're already there. And I'm afraid, moreover, that we're going to get to the end, have a public inquiry, and say never again and not mean it. I want to stop that.